So today, we have to talk about Claressa Shields, or better yet, the person who was pretending not to be Claressa Shields, only for it to turn out that it really was Claressa Shields once she exposed herself. Calling Remy Ma all kinds of names, and honestly, the audacity is wild. I didn't even get a chance to address this earlier because I was genuinely floored by Claressa Shields calling into Hood Champion Sports, pretending to be someone else, pretending to be someone close to Claressa Shields, and then ultimately revealing that it was her the entire time. And then, next thing you know, Claressa Shields is plastered all over the Jumbotron, all over the blogs, for all the wrong reasons, because of this goofy behavior she keeps engaging in with bloggers. What makes it worse is how she then hops on the internet and tries to play the victim like she doesn't actively attack other black women herself. She claims she's being targeted, claims she's being bullied, and somehow her behavior is supposed to go unchecked, like everyone is just supposed to ignore it, pretend they didn't see it, pretend they didn't hear it, and just move on. Absolutely not. We have to talk about it, you guys, because I truly don't get it. Here's what I really don't understand. I don't understand how you can reach out to Remy Ma, ask her for styling tips, want her advice, want to emulate her look, literally want to look like Remy Ma, and then fast forward you're intimate with her husband. You're actively entangled with her husband, but you refuse to call it what it is. You refuse to acknowledge that, Claressa Shields, you are a mistress. You refuse to acknowledge that, Claressa Shields, you are in an entanglement. This man is not your boyfriend. How can someone be your boyfriend when he is legally married to another woman? Somebody please explain that to me, because it does not make sense at all. So we have to get into the moment when Claressa Shields called in pretending to be someone else and then eventually admitted it was her. That's when she said, "This is about my brand, my business, my fight," and people saying my tickets aren't selling and all of that, talking about how she puts food on the table, how she doesn't have tax issues, how she doesn't have money problems, da-da-da-da-da. She even went as far as saying she signed the most lucrative boxing deal in history for $8 million. But she didn't stop there. Claressa Shields also went on a rant about Remy Ma, and that's the part that really caught my attention. Because this entire time, Papoose and Remy Ma were married, and she said there was so much energy put into Pap and Claressa's relationship. And the moment she said that, that's when I knew we were not on the same page. I knew something was off. Because she said there was so much energy into Pap and Claressa's relationship, talking in the third person, as if she wasn't Claressa Shields herself, and then followed it up by saying, not when Remy was cheating on Papoose. And right there, that told me everything I needed to know. And that part right there is interesting, because technically someone could say that Papoose right now is cheating on Remy. You see how that works? But according to Remy Ma, allegedly, Papoose was cheating on her while she was in prison. Allegedly. That's what she has claimed. And people didn't really know about it at the time because she said when she got out of prison, instead of sitting down and enjoying Thanksgiving, eating turkey, dressing, ham, greens, cornbread, the whole spread, she was allegedly out here fighting somebody on Thanksgiving for sleeping with Papoose while she was locked up. And Papoose has never publicly come out to deny that. Then on top of that, she also alleged that Papoose had to knock somebody out because Remy Ma was allegedly cheating. So when I bring up what Remy said about Papoose's alleged cheating, that's why. That tells me that Papoose and Remy Ma crash out about each other. That tells me these two will fight people. They'll go there. They'll do whatever it takes when it comes to each other. Because even after all of that, even after all of those allegations, even when it was blasted by the battle rap community that Remy Ma was allegedly seeing somebody, Papoose supposedly got into a fight with the person who was rumored to be sleeping with Remy. And even after that, Papoose was still sleeping on Remy's couch. You would think that if that was a deal breaker, if that was the end of the marriage, Papoose would have been gone. He would have left Remy Ma alone, went to his mom's house, stayed with a relative, stayed with one of his other baby mamas or wherever else. But no, he was still posted up at Remy's place. And even after all of that, Claressa Shields, even when Remy Ma allegedly caught him on the phone up all night talking to you, seeing text messages of you begging like Keith Sweat for him to show you in public, begging like Keith Sweat to know where Papoose was, what he was doing, all of that, Claressa Shields still went on Hood Champion Sports and said nobody had the same energy, and people were saying F Remy Ma. And what that tells me is that you're jealous of the attention and coverage that Remy Ma and Papoose get compared to the attention that you and Papoose get. But here's the reality of it. You are never going to get wife treatment. You are never going to get that level of respect. Remy Ma and Papoose were a celebrity couple. They were presented as the poster couple for black love. They were known for staying together through ups and downs. They had a televised wedding. They were on Love and Hip Hop. They were considered king and queen of New York. Courtside seats at games, red carpet appearances, major events. Everything Claressa Shields is hyping up as a flex, like buying Louis Vuitton, Remy Ma already did that. Sitting courtside, Remy Ma already did that. Walking red carpets at award shows, Remy Ma already did that. So all of this just gives new money, new attention, and not knowing how to handle it. And the reason nobody is giving Remy Ma the same energy is because Remy Ma wasn't out here publicly flaunting an alleged boyfriend. She wasn't doing that until she was forced to. She wasn't the one pushing anything. It's you, Claressa Shields, who keeps forcing this Papoose situation down everyone's throat and expecting people to just accept it. And that's exactly why DJ Envy and Charlemagne the God were so uncomfortable. They know Papoose and Remy Ma personally. They're friends with them. And they can't even ask the real questions on The Breakfast Club because they know this whole situation is awkward. They know it's strange. Claressa Shields has to take accountability for the fact that she brings a lot of this on herself. She refuses to accept that she is a mistress, that she is a side chick. As long as Papoose is legally married to Remy Ma, and as long as he's taking extended trips back to New York City, where Remy Ma lives, where her daughter lives, where his wife lives, you have to call it what it is. Legally, there is still no divorce decree. Nobody has produced paperwork proving that Remy Ma and Papoose are divorced. And Remy Ma is back wearing her wedding ring. She's back posting videos, old or not, referring to Papoose as her husband again. She did that on purpose. She knew exactly what she was doing. And at the time she posted that, Papoose was back in New York. So all of this is to say, you are choosing to be involved with a married man. You are choosing to insert yourself into the business of married people who have already crashed out over each other, who have allegedly fought people over each other, and still refuse to end their marriage. Claressa Shields, how do you think this ends well for you? How do you think you're going to replace Remy Ma or become the new Mrs. Remy Ma? It's not happening. Even the story you told on Hood Champion Sports shows that Papoose, despite everything, is still willing to stand 10 toes down for Remy Ma. Maybe Papoose cheated first. Maybe Remy Ma protected his image. Maybe they both did dirt and handled it the same way by going after whoever the side person was. At this point, I'm honestly surprised Remy Ma hasn't taken it there with you, Claressa Shields. I'm surprised there hasn't been a confrontation yet, because legally and technically, that is still Remy Ma's husband. Now, I will say this about Remy Ma. When she finally put everything out there, you know what I'm saying, she was genuinely angry. And like I mentioned before, a lot of that anger came from the financial side of things. She was extremely upset about the fact that she was covering the bills for so much, for Papoose, for his family, for everything, and getting nothing back in return. Whatever agreement they had about which bills Papoose was supposed to handle, at some point he stopped paying. I don't know if he was broke or what was really going on, but allegedly, like I said earlier, he was pawning off items that were supposedly jewelry. Jewelry that Remy Ma had insured, and she had receipts proving she insured it. But Claressa Shields, none of this reflects well on you at all. You're hopping on platforms trying to convince bloggers, you know what I'm saying, to stop criticizing you and Papoose and instead redirect that same energy toward Remy Ma. But here's the problem with that. We've known Remy Ma for decades. We've seen Remy Ma and Papoose together for decades. We know their story. They never forced their relationship down the public's throat. They didn't need to. What you're doing, Claressa Shields, is putting Papoose front and center, thinking that by doing that, you're going to receive the same treatment Remy Ma and Papoose got as a couple. And that's just not going to happen. They've been together for a very long time, and technically they're still together now. There's no finalized divorce in sight.
And now that it appears Papoose might be getting back on his feet financially, that he might actually be working again, getting a little drip back, and allegedly buying Remy Ma fur coats, and who knows what else, now all of a sudden there might be renewed interest. And even if there isn't, Remy Ma is absolutely going to be petty about this situation and drag the divorce out, one way or another. Whether they're back together or not, that's what it looks like. Because Claressa Shields, you keep popping off online. You're calling Remy Ma the B word, saying F Remy Ma, doing all of this after you were the one reaching out to her for advice, after you were the one trying to befriend her, and now you're parading around with Papoose like he's some kind of prize, as if he's still Remy Ma's husband. This is not going to end the way you think it is, and that's exactly why people say you need to leave married folks alone. If married people are headed for divorce, you have to let them fully go through that process until both parties are actually single. But you telling that story about how Remy Ma cheated and Papoose allegedly beat up her supposed boyfriend